Let's have fun painting a pilot today. Today we're going to use titanium white, burnt umber, permanent maroon, phthalo blue. For glazing, we're going to use glazing medium. And to start off, we're going to tint the board with a mixture of glazing medium and ultramarine blue. Hey there. So, what we're going to do is we've got our lovely drawing right here, and I'm going to put a little paint on the palette. A little more. That's probably as much or more than I need. Next, get out the old medium, which can't ever have enough of that, or can't have too much at least. Probably have enough by a lot of it. Then we grab a nice big wet brush. Mix the medium into the paint. And we're just going to slap it around. Just let it go wherever. So just kind of having fun, moving paint around. It's good every once in a while. Just put some water in there because we're trying to get a real thin layer. We don't want to obscure the artwork, and we're just kind of adding a little bit of color to it, a little bit of life to the painting. Just having a good time. So, as you're following along, I'm finding myself wondering, what do you like about this sort of video? What do you like about this sort of painting? Are there techniques you can use? Is there anything you're thinking you might want to ask me about I'm not explaining very well? Really love to know. We're getting almost done there. Oh, looks like I'm almost through the medium. Gonna have to add a little more medium. And that's gonna happen when you're doing stuff like this. You're gonna always realize you need a little more. It's a lot better to run out and need a little more than to have way too much and waste a bunch of paint. The medium. And I'm not even worried about it that even of a coat of coloring. I'm just kind of slapping paint around. Just taking some of this. You almost might call it plastic mud. Dyed plastic mud. And I'm just smearing it around. Looks like we've got a little bit of a dryness issue. I'm gonna moisten up that brush and just can't really go wrong. Oh, look at that. Making a little bit of mess, not a big deal. Just be careful to be prepared for a mess when you're setting up painting. It's a lot better to be ready for a mess. Just accept it when it happens. It's like life. Life is messy. Here we go. There. So I'm going to say that's pretty much the first stage. It's not pretty. Shortly after a first pass of glazing, I noticed that there was some bubbling in the upper right hand corner of the painting. Decided I should stop recording, quit painting for the day, and just repair the surface. Then I had to let that sit and resume painting the next day. What follows is my beginning to paint in earnest the following day. So let's get to work painting. I keep saying stuff like that over and over again, but you know, eventually it'll stick. Some water here. In case you haven't seen before, I just use a discarded protein powder supplement container. Makes a pretty good little water jug. And I don't fill it up all the way. And just mixing up some colors right now. I've got starting off with kind of a base of phthalo blue, adding in that magenta, adding in the burnt umber. So we're getting almost a black. I'm still painting with pretty thinned out coats right now. I don't really want to obscure anything. And we're just going to have fun, just kind of slapping paint around. Yeah, looks like I already went through all the paint that I mixed up. Doesn't surprise me at the rate that I'm going. Really putting a lot of paint on here. If you notice, I'm being a little bit sloppy with it. That's okay. It's okay. It's really not a big deal. All the highlights are already worked out in the painting. And if I accidentally go over them a little bit, I'm using very thinned out paint. And I can even just wipe it off with a rag if I've got to, and I've still got my highlights underneath. It's a very carefree stage of the painting. I don't normally always spend this much time on the underdrawing as I clearly did with all the details, working every little bit out, but this particular concept has been stuck in my head for quite some time, and I've done I did a digital painting that was sort of a color sketch of what this was going to end up to be like, and actually I think I did a couple of those, and I've drawn it several times, and then I did the underdrawing after that, and I really took my time with that. I probably spent a good couple hours drawing this, which isn't an immense time, but for just like a little sketch, it's more than I normally spend. But that's okay. Sometimes you got something you just really almost get obsessed with, and that's okay. I think it can definitely help the artwork if you've got that kind of a focus and just want to keep working on it. So what I'd really love is to get some feedback on what kind of material you'd like to hear me discuss. Do you like these long form videos, or would you prefer something shorter? I know around some folks I tend to have a little bit of a reputation of being able to do really fast painting, and the sort of work I've been doing lately doesn't even really show that off at all. So is that something people want to see, or do people prefer just kind of watching me having fun, swishing around water mixed up with plastic mud on a surface? Is that what people want? I don't know. I know this is the sort of painting I'm painting right now, but I'd be happy to just do some quick ones if people want to see that too. That'd be just fine. Got a little more. Already went through all my blue and my brown. I say brown. My burnt umber. The world has got so many different browns in it, you really got to label them. Uh-oh. So as you can see, I kind of took a first pass very quickly. I feel like it's getting somewhere. So pretty soon I'm going to start attacking that star field. I'm going to do something a little different than from what I normally do, though, because I want a little bit of sense of movement. So, we're going to find out together if this was a good idea or bad idea, because I don't think I've done anything quite exactly like what I'm about to do. This is to be continued in the next video, where you'll see me paint in the stars and do a lot of the foreground work. Thank you for watching. Please make any comments or suggestions you have about the video below. Don't forget to like the video, and hope we can paint together soon.